Good morning, everyone. My name is Craig Chambers, and I'm here to teach the Bible in Bible Times, chapter 3 of Gospel of John, verse 22 to the end of the chapter. And it's going to kind of go kind of quick. I apologize for that, but we really need to get to chapter 4. After these things, Jesus and his disciples, this is verse 22. After these things, Jesus and his disciples came to the land of Judea. There he remained with them, baptized. Now John also was baptizing in Aenon near Salem, because there was much water there, and they came and were baptized. For John had not yet been thrown into prison. See, John eventually gets thrown into prison. Then there arose a dispute between some of John's disciples and the Jews about purification. And they came to John and said to him, Rabbi, he who was with you beyond the Jordan, to whom you have testified, behold, he is baptizing, and all are coming to him. In other words, coming to Jesus. John answered and said, a man receiving nothing unless he has been given to him from heaven. That's right, everything we have is from heaven. Good jobs. A lot of people think we're somehow special because we've gone to college and gotten good jobs. But you wouldn't have been able to go to college unless God created you in such a way that you have the ability to go there and do these things. And you should be thanking God for it, what you've been accomplishing. Because it was up to God to let you do that, whether you're a believer or an unbeliever. You yourselves bear witness that I said I am not the Christ, but I have been sent before him. Now that's John the Baptist speaking. And remember, he came preaching Christ before Christ came on the scene. He was telling people about Jesus before he came around. Remember, he was wearing camel's hair and locusts. He was eating locusts and honey. And he was out in the desert. He who has the bride is the bridegroom. But the friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. The man, he's talking about what we would call the best man. Therefore, this joy of mine is fulfilled. He must increase, but I must decrease. In other words, ministry must become in bloom, and his ministry must decrease because Jesus has arrived. And his whole duty in life was to declare Jesus coming. And now it's coming to an end. He who comes from above is above all. He who is of the earth is earthly and speaks of the earth. He comes from heaven is above all. Of course, we're talking about Jesus. And what he has seen and heard, that he testifies, and no one receives his testimony. In other words, a lot of people reject Jesus. He who has received his testimony has certified that God is true. For he whom God has sent speaks the words of God. For God did not give the Spirit by measure. The Father loves the Son and has given all things into his hand. He who believes in the Son has everlasting life. We see here, going back to the Gospel, the book of John always goes to the Gospel because it is the most evangelistic book in the Bible. Constantly he's going back and speaking about Jesus and believing in Jesus. And that's all. You just believe in Jesus. Sorry about my dog. You just believe in Jesus. And that's all you do. And it's not Jesus plus works. It's not this whole idea of you have to stay faithful right up to the end of your life in order to be saved. That's not what it is. He's saying you can be saved and know you're saved right away. Believes in the Son has everlasting life. And he who does not believe the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God abides on him. The wrath of God. If you do not believe in Jesus, God is angry with you. And the Bible says it's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of an angry God. Oh, excuse me, that's not right. I'm not quoting that right. Well, I'm sorry. Anyways, thank you for this time of teaching. We'll get into chapter 4 tomorrow. Please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. God bless, and have a good one.